Hello, my most amazing artists. Today we're going to be looking at op art. So look at the images. Op art was a major development of painting in the 1960s that used geometric forms to create optical effects. Most of the time op art is black and white. So let's get started with our op art project this week. I have changed the buckets up. I'm showing scissors and glue sticks, but you guys will actually have Sharpies and rulers. You'll also have these three items: a pencil and a Sharpie, as I mentioned. The three items in there, the paint and the other item you're going to use for tracing. The first thing you need to do is create a square with your paper. So right now your paper is rectangular, so you're going to fold your paper at a diagonal. Many of you know how to do this. And you can see there, you open it up, it's folded at a diagonal, and then just fold the end up. And that way, when I open it up, you'll see a square with a diagonal fold across it. So there's my square. And this is important for something we're doing next week. Now you're going to take the large tube of paint, and you are going to place it on that line that creates the side of the square. This is important. Be sure you overlap that line. It should be inside your square and on that small little rectangular part. So if you notice, that circle is on both sides of that line. Then you're going to take the smaller jar of glaze and you're going to trace it. Notice we're not opening any of these things. We are just using it for tracing. And then you'll take your marker top and you'll trace it. So you should have three sizes of circles on your paper. Now you can add more circles, but it will be more work for you next week. But you decide. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to come up with a black and white pattern. So it can be anything. It could be a checkerboard. I'll show you that one in a minute. Or it could be just kind of some wavy lines. But you are going to stop at the square, the end of the square. So the only thing going off of your square is that large circle. Everything else will be contained within the square. Alright, so you just finish your design and then you will make it black and white by using a Sharpie. Do not color on top of the circles that you drew. The circles that you drew should be the top items. Let's take a look at another idea. So you're going to start off the same exact way. You fold your paper into a square. You can trace that line. You could use rulers if you want. You're going to trace your circles. It's the first thing that you do after you make your square. And on this one, I am creating a checkerboard. So I'm using a ruler. You guys have rulers in your colorful caddies, and you may use those if you want. You can create any kind of optical illusion design that you want, but you're going to be creating a pattern with black and white around your circles. Again, I'm not drawing through the circle. If you notice, when I draw my line, I draw up to the circle, but I don't draw through the circle. You see right there, I drew up to it, but not through it. That's very important. You want your circles to be the top layer of your picture. So, I'm just lining this up and creating a checkerboard using the width of the ruler. Alright, let me speed this up. I'm going to finish my checkerboard and then you guessed it, I'm going to color it in with black so that I have a black and white design. This is the tedious part, guys, but it's important that you try hard right here. Next week we'll be working on the circles, so work really hard on your black and white design this week. When you're finished, you can practice something on your messy mat. So what you're going to do is you're going to trace your medium-sized circle, which is the glaze jar, and then you're going to take a colored pencil and you are going to start practicing coloring in a circular motion. You just saw I put an X where I was coloring up and down above my circle. So in order to make this look like a sphere or a form, you need to color it in a circular motion. So I am using value, meaning I'm going from dark to light with my blue, and you're just going to practice this on the messy mat. Don't actually do it on your project, but on the messy mat itself.